Yo, this is for anybody who understands what we go through on a day to day basis. And I just want to put information out there so that people kind of understand, you know, kind of how the, targeting is pretty much, like not trying to critique it or change it in any way. So, anyways, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to explain what's happened, just what's transpired in this last day or whatever. So, as you guys know, as you guys can tell, obviously, you see that how much shit I talk and how much information I put out there about this crooked ass government, obviously. And we deal with it on a personal level because we see them targeting us and nobody really understands or believes it because it's not happening to them. But we know. And what that does is that pretty much gives us information and gives us a certain knowledge of how things really are in this corrupt ass government. And so for instance, so I went to my brother's pad and I went to go play video games. And he has 5G set up in his house, right? So usually when I fall asleep there, you know, I don't feel good. As soon as I wake up, I could tell the ratchet ass 5G has been focusing energy on me, their router, whatever it is. And then plus they set up exactly like wherever you spend the night at, wherever you sleep, wherever you rest your head is the main place where everything takes place because what they're doing is they're programming your brain to connect with internet. That's when they get all the nano and all that bullshit in your body and they start programming it. So when you're asleep, you don't feel this, but they're freaking setting up, your neurons to connect with certain receptors and certain freaking satellites and bullshit around you. That's how it works. So exactly whenever you fall asleep, um, it has to be like they want you to fall asleep either where you live, which is my home, or somewhere else that I'm known for spending the night at, and that's pretty much only the places that I spend the night at. So that's why when you're stationary or when you're moving, like say if you got a mobile home or anything like that, like you can honestly keep moving every day until like you can find good places to park and around trees and stuff like that that will help them not be able to target you. And this is easy information to understand. When you actually are going through it, you'll start to like have to build a strategy to not technically run, but just get a peace of mind so that you're not being bothered with when you're trying to sleep. Or you would have to come up with a certain type of shielding technique. And so I was like, you know what? I stood up all night playing video games, and then I was just like, I'm gonna just leave in the morning. So I left in the morning. I came home, and but I was really tired. Like I don't know if you guys ever had to go to work tired. Like, not saying that I'm working right now, but I've been to where I've worked at jobs for years, and at a specific job, I had to work 16 hours a day, and literally, I was a driver's helper, and sometimes when I went home and I didn't get sleep, I would go to work the next day, and I'd still be tired, like really drained, and literally I'd be falling asleep on the lift gate, and when we'd go to stop, I'd fall asleep, and the driver would get mad, and sometimes they would leave me in the truck to sleep it off so that I could at least help them the rest of the night. And I had to have to apologize, but they just they warned you to not make it a habit. So it's something like that. So I came home and like I was tired and I was like walking around the apartment where I live like once I got here, and I didn't feel anything really like affecting me or targeting me at the time. And I just felt really tired, and I felt that their program wasn't easily to be connected to because I haven't had sleep. And one of the key ingredients for them to target you is sleep. You know what I mean? Like, they need you to sleep so they could keep reprogramming you every night. They focus energy and make sure that your brain is connected to this grid. So the longer that you're up, it's like a battery wearing out. and when they can't lock onto you, and I'm just putting information out because I just want to document everything, and like, it's not to be afraid or anything like that, because like, if I cared, why didn't I try shielding myself at all when I got back? Like, that's how much I don't give a shit about this program. Like, I'm not trying to run from them. Like, when the time comes, I'm gonna block their ass, and they're gonna their panties are gonna crumble up in a bunch. And I've been doing it like all the time. So like, it's not really like something that, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like, that I'm gonna freaking die if they you know what I mean? Like, if they're, locked on to me, or they're tracking me, or doing whatever the fuck their little weak ass tactics are. It's not gonna bother me, you know what I mean? They're the ones that are like literally lingering on our nuts every freaking day, every night, like, just trying to collect information, trying to get us to be a part of this freaking satanic freaking world. And it's never gonna happen. So I get in the house, and I'm laying down on my bed, and I can feel energy pulsating at me, like, stronger than I ever have. Like, I can notice it like slightly, but it's just that because I haven't had sleep, and I'm being focused millimeter waves by these starry, system, and you're in the inner city, because that's where a lot of energy can be focused on you at one time. A bunch of satellites and different technologies can be focused on you at once. So obviously your targeting is going to be way stronger in the inner city than in anywhere else. So you don't want to be like, you know what I mean? And I'm going in the front lines, like, not giving a shit, flipping off these helicopters that are targeting me every day. And I'm still speaking out. I'm still not, you know what I mean? I'm not scared of these weak ass people. It doesn't matter what happens. I'll never be scared of these weak ass people. So like, they don't seem to understand that. But so I can feel this pulsing, like really heavily. Like, I'm just like, damn, like, this shit's strong, because I haven't got sleep. And obviously I have helicopters passing, but let's see if I can capture their pussy ass. They always come out when they don't like things that I talk about. But there's that little pussy ass somewhere around there. Can you see him? I don't know. Anyways, they stay on the nizzles, bro. They trust and believe. They know what I'm talking about. They listen to me all the time. Every time I say something, or I'm talking to another TI, a helicopter coincidentally has to pass. And no, it's not a hoax. They're not trying to mess with us. They're actually doing this shit to us. They're actually fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you would be surprised if it was happening to you, but you wouldn't be able to handle this shit. Just so all you little fucking unbelievers out there know, excuse the language, but you wouldn't be able to handle this shiznit. You wouldn't be able to handle, hearing frequencies all the time when you're trying to sleep, and it's just it's an inconvenience, and it really takes a toll on you. But if you have a strong mind, this is nothing to compare to how things are gonna probably be in the future. So this is only programming us to, like, be able to handle whatever type of fuckery that any of you weak ass people try to dish at us in the future. So so I can see, like, this, this pulsating in my like eyeballs. I can see the lights and shit like that, and I'm just like, dang, they're focusing like really strong energy right now. And I was just like tripping out, like, I was like, damn, like, Like, I don't know what the F these freaking perps are trying to do right now, but whatever. So I end up knocking out, knowing that probably is not a good idea of me being around a 5G router and then coming home to these millimeter waves and this way high and dense um, field of where I live, and how your house is set up is way stronger. So your home, exactly where you spend the most time, is gonna be the most um, pretty much energy focused spot that they've set up. They set up your house to be like the pinpoint of your targeting. And I mean, like, nothing has changed. I don't see freaking people walking through the walls, or the frequencies are not freaking different. It's all the same shit. Like, so I went to sleep. I knocked out, and then as soon as I wake up to, like, as soon as, like, my brain comes out of that state, because they don't allow you to go into a dream state, into REM sleep. When you sleep, you connect to this bullshit ass fucking system, whatever the fuck it is, but it just keeps your brain hindered pretty much. You're not able to connect to, like, I don't know what, like, the spiritual aspect of it, unless God breaks that. But I mean, they can only hold you back for so long. They can only hold anybody back for so long until you know God intervenes pretty much. But once you start shielding, you're pretty much fighting back against these energies and stuff that are taking place. So, something like this is what usually I sleep with. And there's a lot of different ways that you can shape this, and pretty much let's see, 1 second. I don't want to but yeah, you guys pretty much get the freaking point of it. It's a freaking what's it called? A construction helmet, which is made out of a pretty thick plastic and some rubber pieces that I've shown you guys in the past. But you can put plastic, you can put a lot of different stuff, and those are non-conductive items. So you're putting a barrier between your brain, no matter what it is, no matter if they could still get past it. You're putting protection on your brain when you're asleep, and they can probably get past it, but it's not going to be as full strength. It's not going to be like, when you wake up, you can feel like you're um like, how can I put this? Like, how when your foot falls asleep. Okay, well, that's how your brain feels when you wake up. Exactly, almost, but just a little different, just very slightly different. And you can hear um kind of sounds are really for me, this is for me, but sounds are kind of a little bit amplified. They're just a little bit more amplified. So as soon as I came out of the sleep, there was a helicopter, like, kind of coming out of, like, from a silent sound, because what they do is they hover from a distance, and they'll be focusing certain energies on you, collecting certain information from you, especially if you turn off your phone most of the time. They're collecting and making sure that you pretty much connect to this bullshit ass grid the way that they want. So they're pretty much, these helicopters and shit are the ones that make the most money, and that's why they're so freaking hell bent on, like, passing by, flying over you, collecting information, because these are the weakest cowards of them all. These are the ones that are doing the worst shit. The ambulance personnel are the ones that are collecting information the most. They're the most weakest cowards of them all. The police officers, and then the helicopters. These are the foot soldiers, the main ones. I mean, forget the perps and the little weak ass foot soldiers. Those are the weak ones. And just like, it's just like a chessboard. You know what I mean? Like, there's a piece for each purpose, for each piece, and everybody has their part. Starting with the corporations to at the top. I mean, the 33, and then the freaking, all the rest of the bullshit. You guys already know how it goes. But so I hear this helicopter buzzing me, and like I'm kind of like adapting back into like this Matrix bullshit. And kind of like my brain kind of coming back together, like, from being fucking scrambled and fried all the whole time that I was asleep. And then I'm just kind of like, fuck, like these cunts, again, whatever. But I just get up, I go take a leak like I usually do. I don't go run into the restroom and freaking hide in a corner and shit. Like, I've been dealing with this shit for like years already. So it's nothing to me. Like, this is freaking patty cake right here. You know what I mean? Um, and right now I'm gonna go and make me some breakfast or whatever. But even though it's kind of already afternoon. But like I said, I was up playing video games, and then I came home and I crashed out. So I got my ceramic plates right here that I could, block them with too. I got my helmet right here. But I just wanted to put this information out there so people understand pretty much of like how this all works, like how their whole system works, and you can probably figure things out, little things that I probably didn't mention and how they work. But yeah, like anything that I'm missing out, I mean, you guys can add little points and I can tell you if it's the same or not or whatever. But like I said, it's never gonna be like the way that they want it, because God is the creator and he's perfected all these things, and he doesn't have to use technology to ever watch his people. And that's why, like, I love it, because I just see this as a cowardice act on people trying to think that they're gods, and Satan trying to think that he's God. And like it's never gonna ever, like, be fulfilled, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, he has a time, and it's short, and he's gonna, and eventually he's gonna get taken out, but God never will. This is the devil's plan on trying to bide his time. And the thing is that I have a video that pretty much talks about a lot of stuff that, that I left out in my TI's handbook, on pretty much on stuff that you can use to combat these people. And for one of them, I'm just gonna add to this video so that people can use this for good information. If you always play music inside your home, outside of your home, when you're walking, whatever, you can play it out in a loud, if you play it out like in a speaker form, like in your car, and you have a loud system, the sounds, the frequencies that they're trying to focus on you, the energies are dissipated, because especially if the songs make you feel good, or are a loud type of frequencies, they can't really focus their R&M on you, because they'll be hearing what you're listening to in some kind of way, shape, or form. And like, just like they're seeing what you're doing or whatever, like that. So usually I'm always playing music, whether it be inside my house, so they're literally listening to it all day. You know what I mean? And it doesn't, they don't like it. They don't like it, and they'll have to, and so I'll see my neighbors having to put on music too, because they don't they don't like having to listen to something all day. And you can put on, Christian music, you can put on, Bible verses all day. You know what? And that's what I'm gonna start doing. I really want this to take place in my life and in other people's lives, and I hope that people really start to get involved into, reading scripture and like coming together in scripture. If you guys don't do it, it's cool. I'm gonna still be representing, as one of the saints, and I'm gonna be showing people and just reading. If people don't want to do it, you know what I mean, if they don't want to come together and do it, then, I'll be the one to kind of set an example. um and I'm gonna just be playing scriptures like all day long. Like, I mean, dude, Look, this is how you defeat the enemy. You got to learn their tactics. They're focusing frequencies on you all day long in your home, focusing them. They have to continuously have a connection to you in order to monitor your brain, your magnetic field. It's not a EEG, but it's called a EKG. You know what I mean? It's easily information that is understandable. So once you start to understand how these technologies are being focused in on us and they're trying to make money off of citizens pretty much, and they don't want people to know about this program because this is how world domination is at its peak. Targeting people, being not only being able to track them through technology, but electricity, magnetic fields around them. They don't want people knowing this shit, even though, it's, secret, CIA freaking operations that took place like way before in the 40s and the 60s and the 50s, and it's only been perfected. And you guys know about all these programs. I post them up all the time. I'm posting constant information, but I'm gonna cut this video. I'm gonna start cutting this video short and pretty much leave you guys with some information that you guys can soak up and understand. But all this stuff, all these cigarettes, the food, all this stuff is built to further their targeting. It's shampoos, deodorants, all that shit. All that stuff is to put more toxins in your bodies, heavy metals, to be able to make you like an antenna. Okay? This is all been perfected. They're trying to monitor people without them being noticed, without them noticing. So they can probably I don't know, who knows? Maybe they can monitor people without activating them. Because we've been activated. They've made sure to make us know, let us know that they're following us and monitoring us, and there's probably like, I wouldn't say there's nothing we can do about it because we can still speak and we can be empowered and use this knowledge for our advantage. But there's really no way of fighting with it just on our own battlefield with so many enemies against us. You can't really have a voice. That's why just like in these videos that I've been uploading, they don't want people to have a voice that are popular. Say if we had more following like RFB and Alex Jones, you can say that they're shields, but they're constantly saying things about the government, exposing things about the government. It doesn't make sense why somebody would do that, and they're not trying to make friends. They're not trying to make buddies, and they're trying to convince you of this corrupt system that is taking place and that is alive and living at this time. So you need to understand that, the people that are shields are the ones that are going to keep talking about shit over and over again, going in circles with no solution. They're going to, you know what I mean? They're not exposing any real good information. If they're exposing really good things where it's motivating you and you're being empowered by it, I wouldn't consider those shields in my book. That's why a lot of people, a lot of supposed TIs that are trying to say that they're TIs, they don't want to work with me because they know that I'm the real deal and they've sold out to this program. And I'm not going to say no names, but it's a shame that how I try to get in contact with a lot of these TIs. And I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm talking to people that are actually doing videos every day, and they're still afraid of this system. They're still afraid of giving out their number, like the government doesn't already know it. You know what I mean? They can monitor your brain signature. They know exactly what phone you have. There's no way that you can hide it, no matter how hard you try. Now, before, you were able to hide certain things, but they have such a wide, web of intel now that you cannot hide from the government. They know everything that you think, everything that you do, everywhere that you go. This is the COVID-19 is to enforce that more effectively without people or looking into it or saying, why are they doing this? Oh, well, COVID-19. Why are people getting sick? COVID-19. Why, 5G is getting people sick? COVID-19. They're just gonna fall back on this. This is like a fucking a freaking blanket to cover a bunch of crooked ass shit that they're trying to do. And it's only gonna empower them to do it even more effectively and to a more broader band of a blanket over the world. They're freaking because if you think about it, people that are getting sick, they could blame it easily on COVID-19. They can target certain people and say that it's COVID-19 and get away with it easily. That's like that. Think about it. All right? So yeah, this ain't nothing new, bro. This ain't like I said, we're still talking, we're still getting electrically freaking targeted, electromagnetically targeted. It's never gonna shut me up. Like, people are going through things, they're saying they're going through shit. They don't want to be on the government's bad side, and that's why they sell out. That's why they sell out, and they try to act like they're this big shit, and like their shit don't stink. And I meet them all over the place. I meet them in the street, I meet them online playing video games. They already know who I am, and they try to act nonchalant, try to play things in the background that are like high pitched frequencies, or things that make you feel uncomfortable. But there's ways of going around that. You just got to lift the headphones up at an angle and not have it right over your ear, because it's directed energy. You always got to remember it's directed. They have to be within line of sight of you. So it's either your neighbors right below you. They have to literally get under your head and leave some kind of machine there. They have to be across from you, laying down, with a machine right next to your head, oh, whatever, diagonally or horizontally. They have to be lined up with you. And once they're lined up with you, these cell phones around you help the towers to freaking direct this certain energy, focus directly at your brain. Then that's where their system comes to play and it goes to work. All right, so it doesn't take rocket science to figure this shit out. I see these people, I hear them moving things in my house. I hear them focusing energy on me all the time. So it ain't nothing new, bro. It ain't nothing new. I'm gonna squash these freaking puppets one way or another with the help of Yeshua. Obviously, he's the only one that's gonna ever be strong enough to take out these weak ass people. But just so you guys know how much of a grip or understanding I have about this program, and sometimes some people, they don't they don't talk about it. They don't want to broadcast it. Some people are afraid to talk about it. Some people, what they do is they spread information that exposes the government, but they never talk about their gang stalking or how they're being targeted by the government. We're being targeted on all levels. Smear campaign, anything that we upload is hindered. Like, our views are being controlled. Our content they're trying to pretty much kind of keep people away from our content, because they don't want people actually understanding or believing that this is really taking place and that they're targeting us. Like, literally, I mean, how is there a coincidence? Like, every time I wake up, there's a helicopter like hovering right above me, and then every time I talk about something that has to do with this program or exposing something that's, exposing the government, helicopter passes. That's not mathematically possible. So I don't know what, you quacks are trying to freaking imply, but these corrupt ass people have a system in place, and they know what they're doing with it. They know what they're doing with it, and they're gonna get everybody to submit, because of these weak ass people that are going along with it. They're the ones that are going to be pushing this new world order forward. All these gang stalkers and these community policing, Citizen Corps, freaking Citizen Watch, private companies, private security companies, these fusion centers, DARPA, freaking these HARP systems, these telecommunication companies, cell phone companies, um, satellite companies, freaking DirecTV. All these people are invested into brain mapping and to further freaking spread this government grasp on this world. And these gang stalkers and all these citizen pieces of crap, citizen policing fucking puppets, they're the ones that are gonna help stupid people. They're gonna be pushing this forward, pushing this agenda forward, and only building a freaking worse prison for everybody else. And they're gonna be trapped along with it. They're slaves themselves. They can't get out of this program. They're forced to do this shit. You think that they want to? You think every one of these freaking puppets want to be trapped in this system? Nah, bro. Not even. It's a trip, man. It's a trip, and whatever happens, whatever, man. All I know is that I'm never gonna go down not fighting. I'm not gonna live on my knees. I'm not gonna be afraid, you know, shivering in my house. I go walk out. I go wherever the hell I want. I go do what I want. And you'll see progress. You'll always see progress. So I'm always gonna be updating better shit. I could get a job because I have my shades to monitor things. We're gonna get electrically attacked. We're gonna get followed for the rest of our life. Who cares? The thing is, though, is where we know where we stand. Know where you stand. All right? Know that you're not a slave to this fucking corrupt ass system. And boom, that's our sanctity, man. That's where our faith lies in Christ. We don't rely on the things that are that are seen, but the things that are unseen. Our spirit is intact, brothers and sisters. Let me tell you this. Praises to the Most High. All of these cowards, bro, they're weak. They will fade out. Their light is dimmed. They have given over to the darkness, to this abomination. And they will be put out. Their light will be put out. And they will no longer shine in this world. Their time is up. Just beware. Stay strong. Trust in the Most High. And that's all I gotta say.